What's up, guys? I am here today with Igal Kahana. He is the author of The Spirit of Progress. And today we're going to talk about the Damascus Affair of 1840. The reason we're talking about the Damascus Affair is because, as you may all have seen, Candace Owens came out talking about the Damascus Affair of 1840 and other things. So I just thought it would be a great opportunity to speak with a historian about the Damascus Affair and blood libels and what all that means. So, Igal, if you could explain to us the history of the Damascus Affair of 1840.
Sure, the Damascus Affair is talking about an event that happened in Syria, in Damascus, in 1840 in March. Also, at the same time, there was a Rhodes blood libel, like a month earlier, in the island of Rhodes, which is not too far from Syria. This is both part of the Ottoman Empire at the time. The blood libel is a series of historical events, which it refers to, where Jews were accused of mainly killing Christians and using their blood as part of religious rituals, typically for use in Passover matzah.
Which is kind of ridiculous, given that one of our commandments is that we cannot drink blood.
And matzah only has 2 ingredients.
So it wouldn't be kosher for Passover, but go ahead.
Wouldn't be kosher at all.
Yes.
The original first blood libel is known. It's interesting that the blood libel, there's not really a thing like that in the Muslim world. There's other problems, but not this particular one. This particular one, the first known incident happened in the 1100s in England. A person named William of Norwich was killed, or disappeared, and a few years later, a story was written about him, blaming the Jews for killing him. This is before the Jews were kicked out of England, about 50 years later.
So this blood libel had been going on before 1840. You're saying the first one was in the 1100s?
Right, the first one happened in the 1100s.
Okay.
And there was a story written years after the event by a guy named Thomas of Monmouth about William of Norwich, saying that Jews had killed this William of Norwich to use his body or his blood, or it's some sort of a religious ritual. Subsequently, this kind of pattern kept repeating. In Geoffrey Chaucer's Prioress's Tale, he repeats a story like that, and there's some dispute about whether he actually meant it or he was just criticizing the attitude of the person who the prioress, or the person who told that story. But either way, that story made it into Chaucer, the first recognized book in the English language, in the 1300s. This became a common theme for the next couple of centuries in the Christian world, particularly the Latin Christian world. And later in the 1700s and 1800s, many kings had come out, and even church people, saying that this is a completely false. Jews do not use the blood of Christian children or anybody's in matzahs or other religious rituals. No evidence can be found for that in the Talmud or in the Torah or any of the scriptures. And multiple kings have felt the need to issue decrees stating that the blood libel is a complete lie and false. Well, once that stopped happening, after that stopped happening pretty much in Europe, it popped up again in the Ottoman Empire, in Damascus and in Rhodes. And priests, somebody disappears, a priest and his helper disappeared in Damascus, a child disappears in Rhodes, members of the Jewish community are arrested and accused of being behind the crime or the incident.
Once they were accused in the Damascus Affair, were they tried and it was found true, or was it found false?
They were eventually found false.
Okay.
And the Sultan, months later, came out with another decree saying that this was completely wrong and
The
not-
Sultan of the Ottoman Empire, he
Right.
came out and said this was
Yes.
completely false.
Yes.
And did some of the Jews already die at that point?
Yes.
Okay.
Because they got tortured. A bunch got tortured. A whole lot got arrested. And under torture, some confessed, because they would have confessed to anything in order to stop being tortured. Because the tortures that they used back in those days were barbaric beyond description,
Right.
and things that we can't even imagine nowadays, except for like in a horror movie. So the confessions were later thrown out, but some of the people who had already died, some of those arrested, and it was one of the things that Metternich and the Austrian leader and Lord Palmerston, the English leader, agreed on was that these charges were absurd and couldn't be taken seriously.
Can you tell the people what you told me on Shabbat? I thought that sentence was like so beautiful when I asked him during Shabbat, like, why would they use a blood libel given that Jews, literally, it's in our commandments that we cannot eat blood. Like, it's something that's so absurd for a Jewish person to be doing. And then you said,
It's still being repeated to this day.
yeah, but no, you said something about a truth being far away, or
Right.
what's
so
the saying? I like that saying.
If you're gonna lie about something that's really far away and hard to prove
Yes, if
or
you're
disprove.
gonna lie about something that's far away.
And Chaucer, in his Prior's Tale, it starts off, there's a city in Asia
Yeah,
where these things supposedly happened. He's not writing as if it happened in England. He's writing as if it happened in Asia, far away, where it would be very difficult for anybody in England at his time to investigate and much less disprove.
right. Well, you guys, we are gonna have more chats because Igal is an incredible mind, and I'm going to talk to him next about like the Talmud and various other topics, especially as the Jewish people are getting attacked about our history and our culture. So I really believe that that education should be coming from us to the world, and that education shouldn't be from non-Jews who don't have the education about who we are. So with that being said, please pick up a copy of his book, The Spirit of Progress. Again, it's about Igal Kahana.
Available on Amazon.
Oh, you can get it on Amazon. And if you like this type of content, please like, comment, and share. Comment down below. Did you know about the Damascus Affair of 1840? Did you learn that in your Jewish education? Did you learn something new? And if you are not following me, make sure to hit that follow button. Thanks, guys. Bye.